The title of this video is John Robert Stevens, The Walk. He was a leader of a group called The Walk, which now presently is called the Church of His Kingdom. I want to make a special tribute to this man of God. I didn't necessarily have a lot of personal contact with him. I did, however, have a lot of contact with him in the spirit. If anybody can possibly understand that, maybe the remarks by Paul where he said he knew Jesus after the spirit, not after the flesh. Now, within the group, you're going to have a number of people that are that are going to run around and cause trouble and have their head up their ass, as it will be always the case when that. Then, of course, there will be a core group of people that will have it going on and will be all right. John Robert Stevens has been dead now, I think about 30 years, maybe 25. I forget which one. I forget which it is. I think he died back in 1976. He believed that he was an apostle and that he was a door-opening apostle for the kingdom and so on and so forth. He had a lot of different understandings. He called the faith the walk, and I had a video concerning that, points that out, that the walk with God is really the faith, not the mental belief system, but an actual walk. He operated all different types of gifts and ministerial offices. I've accomplished that myself. Been walking in that for over 10 years now. By many accounts, some people would consider John Robert Stevens a cult. Well, the word cult doesn't mean because I have a different philosophy or different thinking than you, that makes me a cult. It just means we have a difference of opinion. The cult thing comes into play where someone basically says, this is textbook definition, that they are the vicar of Christ. In other words, you can't get to Jesus or God or whatever unless you come through them. And that would constitute a cult. But the problem here is that within the context of what we understand ministries or not, the ministries that are above you in this case are in a sense between you and Jesus, because they're more developed and they can have better contact than you do. So in that sense, everybody that operates a church would be a cult, I liked John Robert Stevens a lot. Enjoyed the several times we used to meet in the spirit, and some of his members that were there at the time weren't so desirable to get along with, but things have smoothed themselves out as of recently, and so things are working out pretty good, and I think that, or I should say, I know that the group is pretty much online. I'm not saying all this to give a special endorsement to this church or that church, but only in the respect that there's maybe still a lot of hurt feelings out there of people who were part of the walk and may have been part of the walk for the wrong reasons, as well as there may have been many those who were part of the walk for the right reasons. Hopefully the right reasons would have been in the spirit, and you didn't play games, you didn't just, I submit to the apostle or the prophet or who knows what the hell, and because I did that now, that's all that's required of me. Let me bring out a point to the surface here. When we're young and we're walking in God, we're not, we're submissive perhaps to our pastors and elders, whoever they may be. However, we understand these things in different ministries. Some, of course, in the walk are much highly more developed than elsewhere. But once you develop your ability to walk in the Spirit, and it's almost as if you have to go by yourself for a while and find out exactly, more specifically, what it is you're supposed to be doing, and then come back and be part of the group. And I mean, Apostle Paul was initially thrown in the ministry right away, but then if you look real carefully in the book of Acts, there was a period of about 15 years where he disappeared. He was up in the mountains, sort of a parallel to Moses, where he was also up in the mountains for 15 years and had like a spiritual sabbatical, if you will, and they came back much stronger. Not very much for submitting to one another, if the submitting to one another is going to benefit the people involved with the submission. But just to go through and categorically submit just for the sake of submission, that's like having a car with its engine on and it's parked and it's not going anywhere. If we're all truly submitted with power and we unite that power together with that, then there's no telling what kind of revivals can happen and what kind of effects can happen on the earth. Trust me, it won't. But that kind of effect there will go beyond anything that money could buy. Any kind of television or whatever on that. Like I said before, I'm not sure if money's the big issue here. If our spirits are conjoined together and we're unified, there's no telling what could happen. But we're still babies as of yet, and there's still a lot of diaper changing that has to go on in order to get to there. But we can decide. You decide when you want to fly it right, when you want to do it right and get it right, and you'll know when to stop all the religious games and all the BS. Problem is, a lot of us you've been taught by ministries to engage in the BS because you think that's what the program entails with that. Try to think of God and yourself and other people as just as normal, everyday persons with that. No big deal. Just like anything else. And then from that standpoint, go forward and develop with that. Once you cross that hurdle and make it as common and ordinary as breathing air, and you can have reverence towards it, but not overly so. Like I'm so scared. I mean, all these people that talk about just scared and they're fearful and not, do they have a relationship, or they just have a form of godliness and deny access to the power thereof to themselves? Just like there are many people who have apostles and prophets in their churches when that, and so on, and emphasize submission a lot. But do they really have anything going on for themselves, or they just have a structure, like a shell corporation? It's all there on paper, but it doesn't operate, it doesn't work. There's a way to lead upon the light and few are that find it. It takes a while to know how to walk, and then when you finally do walk, it takes even a longer time to try to get other people to be encouraged to get into a walk with God. Walk with God isn't just about a structure of apostles and prophets. A walk with God is your attitude, your active participation. And as you do that and get involved with other people, then when two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst. Not just because that you got two Christians sitting together having coffee, there Jesus is going to show up, and there's got to be an active participation. Anyway, I have to cut this tape short here because my teleprompter here tells me my time is running out. So hasta la vista, baby.